What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a 2025 movie catch-up. I don't typically do these kinds of videos. I typically do solo dedicated reviews, but I have done one video like this before, all the way back in 2023, where I did a 2022 movie catch-up because that was one of the years where I took kind of a hiatus, and I basically just lightning round reviewed a bunch of movies that I wasn't able to do videos on from that year. This time, the only difference is that all the movies I'm going to be talking about today did come out this year, but I took sort of a hiatus for the first, 3/4 of this year. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just giving my thoughts on a bunch of movies that came out this year that I didn't get a chance to do videos on, and also talking about movies that I missed and haven't seen yet, and I'll tell you guys whether I plan on seeing them or if I don't plan on seeing them. So let's go ahead and talk about this list of 13 films that I did see and I just wasn't able to do videos on. The first film on the list is James Gunn's 2025 version of Superman. And again, I have to be super quick with my thoughts on each of these or else we're gonna be here for literal hours. So, very quick thoughts. I loved this movie. I absolutely loved it. It is my personal favorite Superman film. I think David Corenswet was perfect casting as Superman. I'm forgetting her name and it's really pissing me off, but the actress who played Lois Lane was also amazing. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was incredible. I'm not going to go one by one. The entire cast of this film was just absolutely mesmerizing, astonishing. This movie was everything I hoped it would be and more. Cried like a baby couple different times. Yeah, just the ideal Superman movie in my opinion, and it was so refreshing, especially after Zack Snyder's whole complete misunderstanding of the character. So it was just nice to see a Superman movie that actually made me feel hope rather than a Superman movie that made me want to kill myself. Alright, next up is Zach Cregger's Weapons. A little bit of background here. I was a massive fan of Zach Cregger's previous directorial effort, Barbarian. I think that is still, to this day, a very smartly constructed horror film. I love the unconventional structure of it and the way it chooses to tell its narrative. So going into Weapons, I had very high hopes, and honestly, the first time I watched it, I was kind of just like, okay, I mean, that was good, but I'm not really head over heels for it like I was for Barbarian. And then I watched it 2 more times, and over those rewatches I realized this film is actually fucking ingenious. I love the way that this is written. This is definitely preferable to Barbarian in my opinion. At first I was like, I think I like Barbarian better, but no, upon these rewatches I think Weapons is the better film. It's the film that I prefer, and I love seeing that because I loved Barbarian. And I think it's great that Zach Cregger's follow-up to that is even better, because that implies that there could be a pattern throughout his career where he just keeps improving consistently as an artist and his movies just keep getting better and better and better, which pretty much guarantees us some classics from him in the coming years. I think all of the performances in Weapons were absolutely astounding, and again, with this film in particular, Zach Cregger really masters the unconventional storytelling style that he sort of experimented with in Barbarian, where it cuts from different perspectives quite often and it sort of takes you off guard. It also has one of the funniest climaxes in a movie that I've seen, honestly, probably in my entire life. First time I watched it, I was like, is this supposed to be funny? And then a couple shots happened and I was like, okay, yeah, this is supposed to be funny. That's fucking awesome. So I really also loved the climax of this movie. I found it very satisfying. Again, all the acting was great, the music was great, the premise was great, it was consistently intriguing, and it balanced comedy and horror very well, which is very hard to do. Loved Weapons. Sinners. What can I say that hasn't already been said? It is fucking incredible. One of the best movies of the year. Honestly, it's number 2 for me right after The Long Walk, because The Long Walk just impacted me so much that I just had to say that so far that is my favorite film of the year. But Sinners is right there up below it and almost next to it, honestly. Sinners was fucking amazing. Not gonna say anything else about it because what can I say that hasn't already been said? I loved Sinners. Next up is 28 Years Later. I actually just finally got around to watching this about a week or 2 ago, and I wanted to see it in theaters, but I didn't really get a chance to. As far as my opinions on the previous 28 years later, or 28 weeks later films, I guess, since that's the name of the first one, I think the original 28 Weeks Later is an incredible zombie film, one of the best in my opinion. And not 28 weeks, 28 days. I'm stupid. The original film, 28 Days Later, I think is incredible. It's very stylistic. The choice to shoot it on very low-res digital cameras just makes that movie feel a lot more gritty and grimy in a way that a lot of other movies that try to go for a similar tone and vibe just can't really achieve. 28 Weeks Later, surprisingly enough to me, is a movie that a lot of people hate on, but I really enjoyed it. So, going into 28 Years Later, I had very high expectations, especially with Danny Boyle and Alex Garland returning to the page and behind the camera. If you don't know, everybody knows this, but if you don't know, they're the ones who brought to life the original film all those years ago. And this was certainly a very divisive movie, and honestly, I'm right there with a lot of you on the ending. But everything before that last 5%, I fucking adored. Like, I think this movie is beautiful. I broke down sobbing at one point. I didn't know that this was going to be such a human-focused drama. Like, the zombie and the rage virus stuff, that all kind of takes a back seat in this movie. And this movie really focuses on three main characters who are all part of this family: the mother, the father, and the son. And it tells it in almost a folk tale kind of way, which I thought was really, really cool. It's like you're watching a fairy tale be brought to life on screen. So I thought that was awesome. All of the practical effects were incredible. A lot of the color grading that they did, especially with like the shots of the sky, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I thought a lot of that was really cool as well. Overall, just a really enjoyable movie in my opinion. All the performances were great. It's just that last 5% that kind of lost me. But I will definitely be watching The Bone Temple when that comes out, because I do want to see where this story goes from here. Next up is the biggest surprise hit of the year, and that is K-pop Demon Hunters. This movie, I honestly put it off for the first couple weeks because I heard the title and I was like, that sounds like the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. I am not going to watch this. I'm not going to devote any time to this. This sounds fucking stupid. And then one of my friends was like, hey, you should watch that movie. Like, you should just actually watch it. And I was like, okay, fine. And I sort of was like sitting down on the couch like, I'm just gonna watch this movie in sort of like an ironic way. I'm gonna laugh at it. Just from the opening scene alone, I was just sort of sitting there on my laptop not really paying attention, and the opening scene I was just kind of like, and I leaned forward a little bit, and then the movie just kept me in its grasp for the rest of it. What a massive fucking surprise. This movie was awesome, and honestly, after a lot of thought, can we stop pretending? I feel bad that I felt this at first. Can we please stop pretending that K-pop Demon Hunters isn't one of the most badass titles for a movie ever? Like, can we just stop acting like it's stupid? Let's just recognize the truth of the matter and realize that that is a badass fucking title for a movie. The soundtrack to this movie fucking slaps. I listen to it all the time. The animation is gorgeous. The story is incredibly investing. The film is impeccably paced. All the characters are great. The voice acting, the vocals, everything about it, honestly, is just fucking amazing. I loved this movie, and I cannot wait for more to come. Next up is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I reviewed Mission Impossibles 1 through 6, I believe, on this channel, and I never reviewed Dead Reckoning Part 1, or I guess just Dead Reckoning now, because the title of this one was going to be Dead Reckoning Part 2, but then they changed it to The Final Reckoning, so the one before this is just known as Dead Reckoning. Anyway, I never reviewed Dead Reckoning, but I really, really enjoyed that film. I genuinely did. I thought it was great. Honestly, all of these movies are fucking amazing, aside from 2. Like, this has got to be one of the most consistently great film franchises, especially action franchises of all time. And The Final Reckoning really didn't disappoint. As someone who has been a fan of the Mission Impossible films for a very long time, this gave me everything I could have wanted in the series finale. It is the longest film in the series, clocking it at just shy of 3 hours, and yeah, the first 20 minutes of it is kind of just a bunch of emotional, like, trying to, you know, really get in your feels and sort of emotion baiting you with, you know, clips and flashbacks from the other movies. But look, I'm just such a massive fan of the franchise that I genuinely didn't care. I was all there for it, and I loved this film. It has one of the best sequences in any action film ever. It takes place underwater. The whole submarine sequence, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That sequence was absolutely breathtaking. I adored it. Tom Cruise is typically great in this movie. That obviously is not going to surprise anyone. All of the action sequences are obviously amazing. Honestly, I'm going to stop talking about this movie because there's literally nothing I could say about it that isn't already obvious. Really, really loved this one. Next one up is Companion. This was an AI thriller film. It has like undertones of like being a feminist film, which is really cool, and all the performances in it are really great. It has a great concept and it sort of explores it to its full potential. I'm not gonna give too much away. Don't watch, if you haven't seen any trailers, don't watch them. And if you haven't seen the movie, like exactly what I'm saying, like don't watch any of the trailers. Just go into this movie completely blind, and I think it will really surprise you. This is another one I'm gonna shut up about for a different reason. That's just because I'm afraid if I talk about it for too long, I'm gonna give too much away. Performances are great, the pacing is great, the concept is great, and I just love where the movie goes. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I also watched Final Destination Bloodlines after forcing my fiance to binge every single Final Destination film leading up to this one, although we did skip 4 because that movie is a sin against humanity. But I forced him to watch every single other film in the series, and that was really fun for me as well, because I had seen all of them, but it had been a while, so forcing him to watch them was also me getting to actually watch them all back to back for the first time in a while. And I just came to the realization that I fucking love this franchise. Even the entries that aren't technically good films, as like when compared to the other ones that are technically good films, I just found something to enjoy in each and every one of these, and this one was no different. I really, really enjoyed this one. It is one of the most over the top in the series, and the story is a little convoluted, and there are some plot holes here and there, but come on, man, it's a Final Destination movie. I'm going in for the thrills and the kills, honestly nothing more. Although I will say, this movie does offer something a little bit more than that, because for some reason, in the final act, there was a scene where I almost felt something, like in here. And that was weird. That was a weird experience. When it was happening, I was like, what are you doing? This is fucking Final Destination. Why am I feeling emotions right now? This doesn't feel right. After thinking about it, very welcome addition. I think this is one of the best in the series, honestly. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about this movie. So, I did see the Minecraft movie. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Next one. Actually, the one thing I will say about the Minecraft movie is that it has my favorite piece of cinematography of the entire year, and this, of course, being a scene where Jason Momoa and Jack Black are 69ing mid-air, going roughly 80 miles an hour if I had to estimate, and there is a close-up shot of Jason Momoa's booty cheeks where Jack Black just reaches up and grabs it as hard as he possibly can. So 10 out of 10 cinema, honestly. Okay, next movie. Predator Killer of Killers. This is Dan Trachtenberg's follow-up to his amazing Predator prequel Prey, which focused on a group of Native Americans having to fight against the Predator, which was really cool because we had never really done anything like that before in the Predator franchise. The animation in this film is sort of a combination of Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters, just that animation style that Sony has really been pioneering over the past decade, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is honestly, in my opinion, one of the best Predator films, which is also how I feel about Prey, so I don't want Dan Trachtenberg to leave this franchise anytime soon. I think what he's doing with it is really, really cool. I loved this movie. Please watch it if you haven't. And I'm very excited for Predator Badlands, which I think is coming out later this year. I also saw Last Breath starring Woody Harrelson, which is pretty unconventional casting for a movie like this, but he was great in this movie, and honestly, I was really disappointed that people weren't talking about this movie more. I mean, not only is it an incredible true story, but it's also just an impeccably made film. The sound design, like almost the entire movie, takes place underwater in this incredibly terrifying situation, and they really captured the atmosphere of that, just with the lighting and the cinematography and the sound design, like all of that, the production design as well, and of course the performance of our lead actor, who is portraying the man that found himself in this predicament. He was also incredible. So like, honestly, everything about this movie just did what it was supposed to do. It got the job done, everyone understood the assignment, and it gave us one of the best films of the year, in my opinion, and nobody fucking saw it, and nobody fucking talked about it, and still nobody fucking talks about it. What the fuck is up with that, man? Talk about it, watch it, it's really good. It's really good, and I'm not going to say any more. Alright, last movie we're going to be talking about in regards to movies that I did see but wasn't able to review is Heart Eyes, a very fun, incredibly entertaining, and well-paced slasher that was brought to us by the same film collective, I think, that has been bringing us some of the new Scream movies. Obviously not the next one, which I don't plan on watching, by the way, but they did bring us this film. They still stayed in the slasher game, and I am all here for it because this movie was a total blast. Came out on Valentine's Day. I saw it, I think, a week or so afterwards in the theater. It was just a ton of fun. It was a genuinely good mystery and also a really fun design for a slasher killer, which is always great to see. All the performances in it were great. As I said, the mystery was really good. I love the way it wrapped up. And I also think that this movie has some of the best kills of any modern day slasher movie. And if you're wondering what I consider to be modern day slasher movies, I mean like modern day. So like any slasher movie from 2015 to now, like from the past decade. Some of the best kills of any slasher films in the past decade. I really enjoyed it. Radio Silence just knows what they're doing with the horror genre. You know, we got Ready or Not, Scream 5, and Scream 6, and Heart Eyes. I mean, they just know what they're doing. They make really fun, entertaining popcorn movies, and I will always support them and support those kinds of films because they're just so much fun, and it truly is like the pinnacle of escapist cinema for me. Okay, so now I do want to briefly talk about a bunch of the movies that I missed that I still plan on watching. The list of movies that I saw and wasn't able to do videos on that I just got through, it was a list of only 13 films. The list of movies that I missed and mean to watch it is a list of 30 films. So I'm not gonna like give my opinions on any of these. I'm just going to read through them just so you guys know what I am planning on watching still. I'm not even planning on watching all of these. I'm just gonna go through them, tell you guys which ones I plan on watching and which ones I don't plan on watching. So, The Conjuring Last Rites. I do plan on watching that because I am a casual fan of the Conjuring films. I really love the first two, and I'm just interested in seeing how they wrap it all up. Him, which I've been hearing pretty bad things about, but I still want to see it just to be able to say that I saw it. F1 the movie, which intrigued me when it first came out just because people were talking about like how good it was, and they were comparing it to Ford v Ferrari, which is a movie that I actually really enjoy. But, you know, I would be lying if I said that this was the movie that I was like most invested in watching from this list. I'll check it out at some point. I just can't guarantee it's going to be anytime soon. Ballerina. That is one that is definitely at the top of my list. If you don't know, it is the John Wick spin-off movie which follows Ana de Armas's character, who was introduced to us in John Wick 3 or 4. It might have been 4. And one of the later John Wick films. This is sort of her spin-off movie, and I really want to see that. I love Ana de Armas, and I love the John Wick films. Thunderbolts. I do really want to see that. I'm sorry, I have to speed it up because these, as I said, 30 fucking movies here. Elio. I was intrigued when it was first announced. I'm still kind of interested in watching it, but unfortunately it probably will be one of those that gets thrown to the wayside. Nobody 2. I was a big fan of the first movie, and I don't know why they made a sequel to it, but again, I haven't seen it, so I can't really form an opinion on it. Okay, I'm just gonna speed run through the rest of these, honestly, because I don't want to waste y'all's time. Materialists, Bring Her Back, Jurassic World Rebirth, Warfare, Together, Megan 2.0, Caught Stealing, Novocaine, Eddington. I really need to see Eddington. Black Bag, the I Know What You Did Last Summer remake, because I'm a big fan of the original. Mickey 17, full transparency here, I did start watching Mickey 17, and I just couldn't get through it. Don't come for me. I love Bong Joon-ho. I think he's one of the best directors working today, and honestly, he's been one of the best directors working for a long time, not just in the modern day. I think I was just in kind of a mood that day, and I didn't feel like watching that movie, but I will watch it. The Monkey, Osgood Perkins follow-up to Longlegs, the Until Dawn movie, Wolfman, Death of a Unicorn, Captain America Brave New World. I kind of only put that there because it was such a massive movie that I didn't see, so I felt obligated to put it here. I'm not gonna watch it. Snow White, definitely not gonna watch that one, for obvious reasons. The Lilo and Stitch remake, another one that I'm definitely not going to watch for other reasons that are different but also obvious. Drop. Nobody was fucking talking about Drop. I saw the trailer for that and I was like, this seems like right up my alley. A single location thriller, simple premise, being explored to its full potential. Really want to see that one. The War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube. I put it on here just because it's been a big topic of conversation. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to bring myself to watch that movie. I'm gonna stick with the 2005 Spielberg Tom Cruise one. Clown in a Cornfield. I actually really want to see that movie because apparently it's one of the few modern day horror movies that gets Gen Z right. The entire cast is Gen Z, the people who wrote it are Gen Z, and I believe even the director is Gen Z, so apparently it's just a really fun, cheeky, self-aware slasher sort of love letter to Gen Z. A film by Gen Z for Gen Z, and that intrigues me, and I want to see it, because that's also kind of what Bodies was, and I loved that film as well. And finally, Straw, which I only put on here because the idea that Tyler Perry made a movie that people actually liked was quite intriguing to me. I don't know if I ever will watch it, but it is on Netflix, so I can watch it at any point. From what I hear, it's actually like a really intense emotional drama, so I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but I can't say because I haven't seen it. But yeah, that was the last on my list of movies that I haven't seen, but that I kind of plan on seeing, and then some that I don't really plan on seeing, just so you guys get an idea of what I am going to be talking about and what I am not. Now, I know you might be wondering, Xavier, for the movies on that second part of the list that you do still plan on seeing, are you going to do like videos on each and every one of them over the next few months? The answer to that is unfortunately gonna have to be no. I think the only movies on this list that I am going to make dedicated videos to are the ones that I truly, truly love, and I'm gonna sort of make dedicated video essays to them rather than typical reviews. And the only reason for that is there's still a lot of really highly anticipated movies coming out, not just this month, but also for the rest of the year, that I kind of want to prioritize on this channel. I want to review these movies as they come out, because I don't want to be, you know, exclusively making videos of movies that came out like 5 or 6 months ago, you know? There's a bunch of new movies that are coming out very soon that I plan on seeing, that I also plan on making videos on, so that is what you guys can look forward to. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos coming very soon. I will see you in the next one, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.